Singer, actress, model, and talent manager Patricia Apollonia Kotero was born and raised in Santa Monica, California, but her parents moved around quite a lot, so she did spend some time in San Fernando and San Pedro. The eldest of 4 children of Mexican immigrants, she also speaks fluent Spanish and Italian. Her middle name that she would adopt as her stage name came from the Olympian deity in classic Greek and Roman mythology named Apollo. Recognized as a god of music and dance, the sun and light, poetry, and much more. At the age of 16, Apollonia would drop out of high school to pursue a career as a model, while also working a regular 9-to-5. Her parents were going through a divorce at the time, so her paychecks were a great help to her mother. She would admit many years later, though, that dropping out was the biggest mistake she could have ever done. After winning the Miss San Pedro beauty competition, Apollonia embarked on a short stint as a cheerleader for the Los Angeles Rams in the early 80s. She ended up leaving after only 1 year because she was essentially getting ripped off. The cheerleaders were paid only $15 to $20 per game and didn't receive any pay at all for rehearsals or traveling. On top of that, not everyone was selected to perform at every game, so the ones that were had to put half of their money in a pot to be evenly distributed later to all the other cheerleaders who didn't work. She then decided to start taking her acting career seriously and begun taking lessons. Eventually, she would land roles in various television series such as Chips, Fantasy Island, and Knight Rider. Around this time, Apollonia's agent would get a call from Van Halen singer David Lee Roth about wanting her to do a magazine cover shoot with him. She says it wasn't love at first sight, but eventually they would begin dating. Their relationship was never serious, according to her, since they would only see each other as their schedules permitted, but she does remember him being very respectful about not rushing into intimacy and introducing her to his parents. While dating David, Apollonia found out about an audition for Prince's 1984 film, Purple Rain. Originally, Vanity, the leader of the vocal trio Prince put together, Vanity 6, and Girlfriend, had been tapped for the female lead role. She ultimately decided to bail on the project, some reports say, after discovering his infidelities, while others claim they couldn't come to an agreement over the pay. She also decided to leave the singing group. That left the door wide open for Apollonia. She fondly recalled the experience in a 2015 episode of OWN's Where Are They Now? After the first audition, she received a call back to come out to Minneapolis to meet Prince. He picked her up and they went for a date that evening, driving around in a purple limo. It was at the audition that she formally took on Apollonia as her professional name at his suggestion. When I auditioned for Prince, he looked at me and said, "Well, you don't look like a Patty." And I responded, "Well, you don't look like a Prince." We had a little stare down and he asked if I had a middle name. Once he heard Apollonia, he instantly said, "That's it. That sounds better. From now on, you're Apollonia." And so that was that. Apollonia was born. Over the years, when asked about how intimate their relationship got, she's always said that she never kisses and tells, but maintains that they never dated. Speaking of kisses, Apollonia says her first kiss with Prince was actually during the filming of the movie. In her Where Are They Now episode, she described their relationship in the past and currently as platonically romantically involved. They shared a lot of romance, but she was not his girlfriend and he was not her boyfriend. In 2021, Apollonia told Vlad TV that Prince had a lot of respect for her and took good care of her, sometimes to a fault when he had people follow her and had her phone tapped. She says probably just to make sure she wasn't running around with the wrong crowd and being naughty. She also told the story of their terrible first day of filming Purple Rain. During the first take of the first scene, as she and Prince were riding on a motorcycle driven by him, they completely wiped out. Prince was able to escape without injury, but Apollonia ended up trapped underneath, sustaining serious burns on her leg from the exhaust pipe. Vanity 6 was renamed Apollonia 6 for the film, and also featured supporting singers Brenda Bennett and Susan Moonsey. Music was a huge part of the film, and Apollonia got singled out to do a duet with Prince on Take Me With You, a song featured on the soundtrack. The film would go on to win an Academy Award for Best Original Song Score and 2 Grammys. After the movie premiered, Apollonia and Vanity finally met after Vanity reached out. Apollonia has said that she was a fan and wanted to be friends, but it never happened due to Vanity publicly tarnishing her name. As upset as she was about the whole thing, Apollonia later forgave Vanity after finding out all the trials and tribulations she endured throughout her life, namely her traumatic childhood, drug addiction, and debilitating health issues. One aspect of Apollonia's career many may not know is that she wrote a couple of major hit songs for other artists in the 80s. She had written half the lyrics, along with Prince, and originally recorded a version of the song Manic Monday for her group's debut album. The song later became a worldwide hit single for punk rock band The Bangles. Percussionist Sheila E. also benefited when she recorded The Glamorous Life, again co-written by Apollonia and Prince. She did receive credits for the lyrics, but not the publishing. A failure of Prince that Apollonia says caused a lot of problems between him and other people was not signing contracts and paying people. She also claims that he never even trademarked her group name for a long time. Apollonia 6 was released in October 1984. It featured the track Sex Shooter, which the group performed in Purple Rain. It was also written and produced by Prince and became a top 20 hit on the R&B chart. Soon after, Apollonia left Prince's camp to continue her acting career and appeared on the CBS primetime soap opera Falcon Crest, playing a character fittingly named Apollonia. In 1988, Warner Brothers Records released Apollonia's solo self-titled album. 3 singles were taken from it: Since I Fell For You, The Same Dream, and Mismatch. It didn't do well, and not too long after, she went to the label and asked to be released from her contract. The opportunity for Apollonia and Prince to reunite would come up when he approached her to be in his unofficial sequel to Purple Rain, Graffiti Bridge. However, after Apollonia read over the script, she told him that it was, quote, a piece of shit. A bigger reason for her not to do it was the money. He wasn't willing to pay her what she wanted, so she turned him down and went back to acting. In 2016, Apollonia would reunite with her former group members Brenda and Susan, as well as Prince, under very sad circumstances. They would all gather at a memorial service for Denise Matthews, formerly known as Vanity, who had passed away the week before. Everyone also attended Prince's concert scheduled for the following night. Little did they know, that night would be the last time they would see him. Prince Rogers Nelson would pass away just 2 months later from an accidental fentanyl overdose. Apollonia and Prince had begun to reconnect just before he passed. She got a chance to witness him making the effort to right previous wrongs by getting Susan and Brenda's bank information to pay them, as well as herself, out of all the money he recouped from Warner when he got his master's back. They talked about making movies, writing their autobiographies, and doing another Apollonia 6 project. After his death, Apollonia would go through a deep depression. She fell into a rabbit hole, lost a lot of weight, couldn't sleep, and was consumed by survivor's guilt. At night, she would even pray for God to take her life. A few months later, she wrote a lengthy message to Prince on Facebook that she says was therapeutic. My dear Prince, I have never known you to leave the stage so early. 4 long, dreadful months have passed since God welcomed you home. Grief, depression, anger, and loneliness are like those bullies who taunted me in grade school. They have been relentless. My life has been a vortex of rage and despair, waves of sadness washing away the pieces of my broken heart, my own personal hell on earth. I feel like your widow. Unfortunately, she's also been caught in the battle over Prince's estate concerning her rights to the Apollonia 6 trademark. Apollonia says that just prior to his passing, he told her he wanted her to keep the name to earn a living. Now it's in jeopardy of being taken away from her. Apollonia decided to get into the podcasting game by launching her own show called Apollonia Studio 6, broadcasted exclusively on her YouTube channel of the same name in December 2021. She, along with her co-host, feature a mixture of guests from music, film, TV, fashion, and more. She's also now ready to get back to doing all the other things she loves. My passion is work, singing, acting, dancing, producing, writing. I'm a songwriter. I'm feeling better about life. My life has changed. Prince changed my life when I first met him, and he had me in his film. He changed my life again when he was taken away from us too soon. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time.